Hello my friend and welcome to this new episode of Sartorial Talks. Today it's a special episode, some kind of a bonus episode because I have a very important message to share with you. Today I'm going to answer the question which is probably the most often asked question we receive, or let's say the request we receive the most often all year long is how to become a master tailor, how to find the right school or the right training to learn this fantastic craft of bespoke tailoring. And we have an answer for you today. So to be honest, I can't even count the number of times I received specifically from young gentlemen the question, Mr. Jacome, I am absolutely passionate with the art of tailoring. I would love to do this profession. I would love to make this my job in the future, but I don't know where to go. It's not even a matter of money, it's not even a matter of country, but I don't know where to go. There's no university teaching this, except in Italy a few, but they are more on the fashion side of things. We have in France a fashion institute, but nothing that is really teaching tailoring, the real bespoke tailoring, the traditional one, as we want to do. And this is a major problem that we have worldwide, because this job is incredible. It's an incredible job, but I don't know why there's very, very few schools and possibility for young people, or even for not so young people. For example, it's the same for shoemaking. I have in mind the example of my friend Norman Vilalta. He's a shoemaker now in Barcelona. He's originally from Argentina. Before becoming a shoemaker, he was a lawyer. And then when he was 30, 33, 35, he decided, but what am I doing with my life? This is not what I want to do. And then he discovered he wanted to make shoes. And so he went back to school. He was 35 and he became a great bespoke shoemaker. It's the same for tailors. I received so many messages of people saying, what do? I work in IT, or I work in insurance, I work in banking, and I have the impression I don't leave a trace behind me. I would love to train myself as a master tailor, but where do I go? Well, until now, my answer was always very blurry because I didn't know. Well, you said, look, in Italy, maybe you can find a few fashion institute. You can learn how to make a pattern. Look into France, maybe in the fashion institute, you can have a special course on that, but nothing really that will totally embrace the whole thing you need to really become a bona fide master tailor. Today I have a good news because we have now a school, and also I have the pleasure and even the honor to officially announce you that I accepted to be the international ambassador for this tailoring school. This school is in Florence and is directly in the atelier of and the premises of the great Sartoria Liverano in Florence. Can you imagine you will have now the possibility to enroll in a program that will either, if you are starting from scratch, that is to say you know nothing about tailoring, or you have to be passionate, I will tell you why a little bit later, or if you already have a little bit of experience as a tailor, you can still have access to this school in Florence, the beautiful city in Florence, and right there in the middle of the atelier of Antonio Liverano and his team. And it will be, the program they put together is incredibly good because it's a perfect balance between the theory, you're going to learn the history of tailoring, all the theory about that, and even the history of all the big names in tailoring and some textile knowledge. So very interesting in terms of theory, and of course a lot of practical things, because tailoring can't be learned in books only. It's probably mostly the practice and how you will train a long hours to really be able to craft a suit, an overcoat, a pair of trousers, anything you can tailor from A to Z. But before giving you the details about this school and how you could apply for it and eventually enroll in this program, I want to say something to you which is very important. It's not a warning, but it's very important that you understand something. Master Tailor, Bespoke Master Tailor, this is becoming a traditional tailor, is a beautiful, according to me, and you know it's my passion, among the most beautiful jobs in the world. But it's not by far the easiest job. So it means that before applying through us, because we're gonna filter, I'm sure with this kind of video we're gonna receive a lot, because we know there's a lot of young and not so young people who would love to do that, but I want to warn you, you have to be serious in what you do. It is a tough job. It's not a school you come as a tourist. It's not a school you come because you have nothing else to do. It's not a school you come because you're not so sure that you maybe want to be a No. You have to apply for this school because you know this is the path you want to take in life and you are ready to work hard. This is not a school and this is not even a job for, I'm sorry to say, lazy people. It's something that you have to have the passion. Otherwise, you're going to lose time and money, and everybody's going to lose time and money, specifically because the number of students that the school Liverano can receive is limited to 25 students, 30 maximum. So listen to me very carefully. If you are passionate, if you are ready to move to Italy for 2 or 3 years, if you are ready to really work hard and put your ego aside and really embrace this fantastic job, then you can write to us and then we can study together if this training is for you or not. Of course, it's not a free school, it is a private school. We will give you all the details when you apply for it, but once again, be sure about what you want to do. So briefly, I will give you an overview, not too much into the details, because if you apply, we will have an interview, probably a phone call, or at least exchange some emails to really check if this training is for you. But let's say that there are 3 major training programs. The first one, which is the complete one, the royal one, if you start from scratch, you're passionate, you want to become a tailor, but you know nothing, you have no experience, you just have to be 21 years old, have a little bit of English. I know that inside the program there will be a small training of course, of Italian, so that you can interact with everybody in the atelier, little by little. So the first program is called the Sarto program. Sarto meaning tailor, you know, in Italian. So the Sarto program is 3 years, 3 full years. I think it's 1,200 hours per year, so it's a very intensive program. 3 years in Florence, inside the Liverano School, which is located inside the atelier of Maestro Antonio Liverano with his teams of master tailors. So for that, you have to be motivated. You don't have to have any kind of experience, but it's 3 years. So once again, this is not 3 years of tourism. Even if Florence is probably one of the most beautiful cities in the world, you don't go there to drink some beautiful Tuscany wine and, you know, be a tourist. No, it's a very demanding training. You will discover it's a very demanding job. So the first program is called the Sarto. The second, I look at my notes, is the apprentice program. It's the same, it's only 2 years. Of course, on the first one, you also have a lot of theory, the history of tailoring, as I told you already. The second one, apprentice, is if you already have a little experience in tailoring. For example, you've been working in a make-to-measure salon for 1 year, you know how to take measurements, you are already comfortable with the basics of pattern cutting and stuff like that, so it can be for you. So it's the same program, but you skip the first year. So let's say you already possess and understand the basics. So it's the same program, but only 2 years. And then the third training in this school is called the Focus program. That is to say, okay, you already have 2 to 3 years of homemade tailoring in a tailoring house, and you want to focus on something. You think you want to progress in, I don't know, shoulders or pockets or trousers making, or even in the management of a bespoke salon. It can be something like that. So we can decide, you can decide with Antonio Liverano and his team on what you want to focus. This is 1 year in Florence, but this is only for the people who really have a significant experience in bespoke tailoring. It can be, by the way, your boss sending you there to have, to be a little bit perfected and have more knowledge on a very specific part of the tailoring business. So that's the third. And then after you have two other things. One thing is called the art of textile, is more for the people who are in the menswear business and they want to know more about tailoring. This is smaller, but you have to be already a textile professional. It's 3 months, and it's in Florence also. And then you can have some special program, I would say bespoke programs for you. If you are a tailor already, you want to focus very on, so let's say on pockets, for example, you have program of 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. So you see, the offer is quite large. The only thing is that, of course, the main student that this school, and I say we because I'm the international ambassador now officially for the school, so we're going to accept only the people who are highly motivated, and we're going to give the preference, of course, to the people who wants to do the full program, that is to say the Sarto program, 3 years, or the apprentice program, 2 years, because this is, with these two programs, you will become a real master tailor. A last warning is that it doesn't mean, because I spoke about that with Lorenzo Cifanelli so many times, with all my friends in the trade. It takes probably a good 10 years to make a real bespoke tailor. But with this school, which is not the normal school, you understand, you are immediately immersed in the middle of a working atelier. You're going to see jackets, you're going to see clothes, you're going to see clients, you're going to see real tailors. So you're going to be immediately in the middle of the action. With a training like that, I can assure you that you have a career in front of you, because bespoke tailoring, even if somebody says, since I started Parisian Gentleman 10 years ago, people say, oh, why are you speaking about that stuff? It's an old trade, it will disappear, everything's going to become industrial, everything's going to be crafted very far from her. And with the crisis now, we start to rethink. And people start to send us mails and, where can I find a local tailor? Why don't we have no local tailors anymore? And this is the answer. There's a bright future. We believe, with Sonia and Antonio Liverano and all our community, we believe in a handmade future. The only problem is that for that, you have to be highly trained, because you can't improvise yourself a tailor. It requires a lot of energy, a lot of investment. It requires a lot of time, a lot of courage. It's a very complicated job. But if you manage to really possess the know-how with this kind of school, I think you have a beautiful future in front of you. So if you want to apply, and once again, we will only answer to the serious people who can explain why they are motivated, a motivation letter, then you write to this address. You go at parisiangentleman.fr, as I'm the ambassador for the school. You go at parisiangentleman.fr. We're going to write it on the screen, and you explain to us why you want to do the training, and how motivated you are. And if you want to choose a shorter program, explain your experience. And in any case, you will have to go through an interview with me or with Antonio Liverano or one of his tailors to really check that this program is the good program for you. Of course, it's a private school, so it's not free. It requires an investment. It requires 3 years, 2 years living in Florence. But we're going to explain all this to you, giving all the information, but only if you apply through email at the address I gave you just before. I hope this will be a good news for many of you. Just be aware, the school, once again, will not be able to take more than 25 to 30 students. So I'm pretty sure that with this video, we did the same in French. It's going to be pretty much full very quickly, so don't lose time. Normally, we're supposed to start in October, the first year, depending on where you live, depending on the time to obtain the visa, depending on many different things. We can be flexible. You can start your training between October and January. So flexibility is going to be here, but if you want to apply, please don't lose time, because I'm pretty sure the school is going to be totally full very quickly. I hope this is good news for you. I hope you will send us a message to apply for this school, and I give you an appointment for a more normal episode of Sartorial Talks very soon. See you soon, my friend. Bye-bye.